You know that moment when a film hits so hard it practically rewrites the rulebook? Sinners did that. And then some. Picture this. Michael B. Jordan brooding in the Mississippi Delta, blues music thick in the air, and vampires who actually follow the old school rules. Garlic, wooden stakes, and the good old need for an invite? Check, check, and absolutely check. But hold your crucifixes, socialites. This isn't just another horror flick. Sinners is a genre-defying, culturally rich box office juggernaut that might just charm the Academy while it chills your spine. Let's talk about it. All right, numbers first because the receipts are hotter than a southern summer. Sinners, directed by the ever-genius Ryan Coogler and starring our eternal crush Michael B. Jordan, has officially earned over $168 million globally. Domestically, a spicy $123.2 million and counting. That second weekend drop? Just 6%. To put that into perspective, the only film to do better with a $40 million plus opener since 2009 is Avatar. We're talking record-breaking retention, which in Horrorland is rarer than a vampire with a suntan. But here's the bittersweet twist. Starting May 1st, Sinners is being bumped off premium IMAX screens to make way for Marvel's Thunderbolts. Rude, but expected. Don't panic, though. It'll still be haunting your local theater well into July. So yes, you still have time to see it on the big screen, just not the biggest screen. Now let's talk endorsement. None other than Tom Cruise himself gave Sinners a standing ovation, publicly. He praised the cast, crew, and encouraged everyone to stick through the credits. That kind of cosign? Massive. It's giving awards season buzz. It's giving Oscars. And most importantly, it's giving horror the prestige treatment it deserves. Critics are calling it not just the best horror film of 2025, but one of the most original and emotionally resonant films in any genre. It even snagged an A cinema score. For a horror movie? That's practically a unicorn. Let's talk vampires, because Sinners doesn't just bring them back. It resurrects them in their full, terrifying, folkloric glory. We're talking no sunlight, no garlic, no entry unless invited. These are not your sparkly, Instagram-filtered vamps. These are creatures of myth, fear, and yes, metaphor. What sets them apart is that they aren't just scary. They're symbolic. They stand for cultural erasure, the seduction of assimilation, and the cost of abandoning your roots. And let's just say, they're far more terrifying than any jump scare. Set in the deep, sultry South during the Jim Crow era, Sinners is soaked in Southern Gothic elegance and historical weight. The dusty juke joints, the blues that bleeds emotion, the oppressive heat and the even more oppressive laws. Every detail is meticulously rendered. But this isn't just a period piece with Fangs. It's a deep dive into Black and Irish American folklore, and how music becomes a form of memory, resistance, and identity. The blues is more than a soundtrack. It's the soul of the film. And speaking of music, blues isn't background noise here. It's magic. Sammy, one of our central characters, doesn't just play to entertain. His songs connect him to ancestors, awaken visions, and protect the community. Music becomes a form of cultural armor. Enter Remick, our Irish vampire villain who has his own musical roots. He performs an Irish jig, yes, but with a sinister twist. His music is coercive, manipulative, seductive. It's assimilation dressed up in a dance number. When he turns people into vampires mid-jig, it's not liberation. It's cultural theft and spiritual annihilation. So chic, so chilling. This musical contrast shows how culture can be both a weapon and a shield. Authenticity versus appropriation. Soul versus spectacle. Folklore isn't just sprinkled in for flavor. It is Sinners' backbone. The film leans heavily on African-American blues myths. Yes, even the Robert Johnson Crossroads legend, and Irish supernatural lore. It weaves these threads into a tapestry of survival, resilience, and resistance. And this isn't just spooky storytelling. It's a social commentary. Vampires become metaphors for colonialism, racism, and the slow, seductive pull of erasure. The real horror? Losing your history. Let's get serious for a second, socialites. The film is set during one of the darkest times in American history, the Jim Crow South. Segregation, racial terror, and economic oppression aren't just backdrops. They're plot drivers. Our heroes, Smoke and Stack, are fighting for their lives in every sense. Against vampires? Yes, but also against a world rigged against them. The stakes, pun intended, are existential. The film doesn't stop there. It acknowledges the shared histories of marginalization. Chinese immigrants, Choctaw vampire hunters, Irish colonial trauma. It's a cultural chorus of voices rarely heard together, united in one eerie, elegant narrative. Let's give Remick his moment. He's charismatic, dangerous, and metaphorically loaded. He offers salvation from racism, if you join his undead collective. But freedom under his rules isn't really freedom at all. His Irish jig becomes a twisted recruitment dance. It's mesmerizing, yes, but it's also menacing. And his backstory? A colonial trauma survivor who becomes a colonizer. Layers, darling. Layers. The fandom? They're feral in the best way. Reddit threads are ablaze. TikTok edits? Chef's kiss. People are calling it dreamlike, mind-blowing, and yes, Oscar-worthy. Sure, a few folks say the genre shifts caught them off guard, or that the pace dips when the fangs come out. But honestly, that's just horror snobbery. Most fans are all in, and word of mouth is driving a second wave of theatergoers. Oh, and friendly reminder, don't leave when the credits roll. There's extra content waiting for the diehards. Sinners isn't just a movie. It's a statement. A horror epic that reclaims folklore, celebrates Black creativity, and reimagines the vampire myth through a lens of history and identity. It's spooky, stylish, smart as hell, and emotionally devastating in all the best ways. From its musical soul to its metaphorical fangs, this film is everything horror should be. Bold, boundary-pushing, and culturally conscious. So, if you haven't seen it yet, grab your popcorn, hold on to your pearls, and dive in. That's the tea from me. Keep it classy, socialites.